As someone who has built a business investing in Lego sets, holding them while the values go up, I am really excited to hear what the Ramsey show have had to say about Lego investing. I've been waiting for someone in the world of finance to speak about Lego investing because it is commonly misunderstood. There's a lot of misconceptions out there about it. And the Ramsey show have finally talked about it on the show. I've been sent this by so many people looking for my thoughts and reactions to this video. I haven't watched it yet, and we're going to watch it right here, and I'm going to give my live reaction as to my thoughts on the Ramsey show's interpretation of Lego investing. Now, Dave Ramsey, he has a massive radio show about personal finance, and he teaches some pretty good stuff depending on where you are in your finance journey, right? And it's a great starting point for a lot of people. So with that, let's jump in and let's see what they have to say.
So the team has teed up this video. I want to get your reaction.
Okay.
You ready?
Let's do this.
For Lego enthusiast Lucas Letrick, these aren't just toys.
This is the Lego Creator Palace Cinema.
They're serious moneymakers that he buys and sells for profit. The biggest online database of collectible Lego sets lists $1.2 billion worth of the toys around the world.
You know, Lego Tron up here, more in the $300 to $400 range. This Lego TIE Fighter, $200 a piece is what these are selling. The returns that I typically will see is somewhere between 150 to 250% on a Lego set.
Researchers say Letrick is one of tens of thousands who, concerned by the recent volatility of stocks and bonds, are betting on the reliable returns from this tiny but growing market.
Wow. Dude.
Move over, crypto.
Yeah, back that thing up, Beanie Babies.
Wow.
We have a new toy in town.
Okay, so this brings me to an article, John. Here's the headline for you. Adults are buying toys for themselves, and it's the biggest source of growth for the industry, and there's a new name for these people. They are called kidults. They have a great fondness for cartoons, superheroes, Star Wars, Lego, and in recent years, toy makers like Mattel have created lines just for these consumers.
Because they're stupid. That's why.
Well, think about it. They have the nostalgia, and they have the buying power.
They've got money now. Right. You know how many times I've tried to convince my wife that this new guitar or hunting,
It's
like
an
deer rifle, is an
babe.
investment? Yeah. No, my truck is an investment. It's
Oh, wow. So we have comparisons to Beanie Babies. We have comparisons to cryptocurrency. We have comparisons to buying trucks. So right off the bat, it's clear that, these guys aren't really thinking about Lego investing the way I think about it, right? Which is specifically as a business where you invest in the sets, you keep them sealed, and then you sell them. I think they're talking about stuff that, you buy and you enjoy, and then, you try to convince yourself and your significant other that it's an investment like a truck. Trucks go down in value the moment you drive them. They're depreciating assets. Beanie Babies was a fad. It was a bubble. It started out with low supply and high demand, and then it reversed and you had low demand and high supply. That can't really happen with Lego because Lego intentionally, it's a market where the old stuff is retired and no longer available. Because Lego Group, they want it to be that way. They want to be able to use the same shelf space in retailers for new stuff. So they retire the old stuff and the values go up. It's manufactured, it's carefully thought out, it's strategic from the Lego Group. And that's what causes the values to go up. It's very, very different than Beanie Babies. And cryptocurrency is a whole different thing, right? I could never compare something that's a tangible thing you can hold in your hand that has value, like a Lego set, with cryptocurrency, which is a digital thing that only goes up in value if there's someone else who's willing to pay more for it. Very different. So some fun comparisons here right out of the gate.
it's going to depreciate and then suddenly reappreciate.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
you know who
geez,
can't
man.
afford this? Kids. And so, it's astronomically expensive these days, but there's some fascinating stuff in here in the article, and there's one that's connected to it that's interesting. Investing in Lego, more lucrative than gold, a study suggests.
Okay, I hate these. Oh, gosh, you're giving me hemorrhoids.
That's apples to apples.
I hate these
brick of gold,
snapshots.
a brick of Lego.
The
it's all
snapshots.
the
The worst. So I'm 100% for buying toys if you got it. Buy whatever, dude. If you got the money, have a great
same.
time.
You've got your weird hobbies.
I've got so many weird hobbies. And my son is down with the Legos. I love them. I could sit there and do Legos all day. It's quiet. We put on some music. It's awesome. I love Legos. I love them. To lie to yourself and others about them being a investment property. Dude. If it all goes down,
we'll be trading in Legos, right?
And someone comes to my house and they're like, hey, I've got a tin of coffee and some cigarettes. Can I have a Starfighter Lego set? It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
Okay, so now they're talking about the apocalypse, right? In the post-apocalyptic world, what are the investments that you would be able to use to buy some food, right? And if The Last of Us went down or Fallout, Lego sets are not going to be sought after. The reason he's bringing that up is because the article comparing it to gold, and typically gold is what people point at as the store of value in a post-apocalyptic world, right? If the dollar value or the dollar fell off a cliff in value, the world economy collapsed and no one cared about dollars anymore. Cryptocurrency obviously was non-existent. What would you be able to use to buy some groceries, you know, in your shelter? And gold is typically what people point to. I would argue that a Lego set is a tangible thing that people want. And so in that kind of world where people don't have much for entertainment, would people want a sealed Death Star from, you know, that they remember from before the apocalypse? I think that they would. I don't know about this argument that he's trying to make here. It's kind of funny. But the point that he said about trying to convince yourself and others that it's an investment, I think that shows a little bit of a lack of education on what we're really talking about here. Because with Lego investing, he's kind of talking about it like you're just buying these toys, you're enjoying them, and then you're selling them later. You know, and you're trying to convince yourself as an investment. I see Lego investing a whole lot different. I buy multiples of the same set. I don't open the box. I think about it in a business way, in a very systematic e-commerce business mentality. We're not just buying one set, opening it, enjoying it, and trying to convince ourselves that it's a good investment. We're doing it because we're researching, we're finding the right stuff. We know it's going to grow in value because we're making careful decisions on it, and then we're treating it like a business. So there's a bit of a different world that we're on here in terms of how we're thinking about Lego investing.
It's trading more lucrative than gold because we have more money than cents. And there's more circulating dollars, which means there's more of things we can buy. And there's people right now on Etsy or eBay or whatever going, that guy's full of crap, what an idiot, whatever. You're cool. Keep buying and selling toys. Knock your lights out. Rock on till the break it on, dude. You're going to be sitting, I'm just sitting with people who've got a lot of guitars. They got a lot of guns. They've got a lot of whatever. This is my investment, bro. We'll sell some. They're getting way less than they thought on average, or it's just imaginary, dude. It's just like
We all have those Beanie Babies in the attic where we were going, oh, I could have sold those at one point.
I'm
going
gonna
to
stop right there. I don't have a Beanie Baby. I know you have a huge collection.
I sold mine.
Okay.
No, I don't know. I don't know where they went, John.
But yes, we all have things that are like, no, it's worth this much, bro.
But it's pretty. I mean, it's a fascinating stat if you just.
So the point he's trying to make here is that, a lot of people think that they have collectibles that are worth a lot of money, and realistically they can't move them. They can't sell them. I do agree with that point. Like, we need to make sure that what we're buying, what we're investing in has demand, right? It's all about demand. Thankfully, Lego is it's the most popular toy brand in the world. It has tons of demand, especially if you pick the right themes. Harry Potter, Star Wars, pick the right sets that are going to be sought after and collectible for years to come. There's a lot of things that we can look at here that I show in my other videos to make sure that the demand will be there. I agree with him that if you buy some obscure collectible, some weird guitar that nobody even knows exists, it may not have the demand. You might not be able to sell it. But we are very careful with that with Lego, and I think we're in a very, very strong position with Lego because it's not hard to move your inventory with Lego investing usually. Stuff sells very, very quickly.
Look at it.
Oh, it is. It is.
The market for secondhand Lego rises in value by 11% annually, which is faster and better than the rate of return than gold stocks, bonds, stamps, and wine.
Real quick, I want to comment on that 11% number. He's saying it grows by 11% annually. Lego investors make a lot more than 11% usually. He's talking about in the overall market, he's probably looking at eBay, the overall market being dragged down by stuff that's not performing very well. If you pick the right sets, 11% is a very low investment. And if you look at some of my other recent videos where I talk about how much sets have grown and different things like that, it's usually a lot more than 11%. I think the conversation might be a little different if they're talking about 75% returns a year or 100% returns a year. Then, the extra little bit of risk that you might take on seems totally worth it. So just wanted to call out that 11% number right there is actually pretty low.
In the last decade or two, when there's been the single highest wealth accumulation in the history of planet Earth, mostly that's a whole other conversation. So yes, congratulations.
Yeah, I think
keep collecting, guys.
I'd
Keep
rather
collecting.
you invest in Lego than stamps. So there's some good things there. But I will say, the company Lego, they are genius marketers. And here's how they did this, John. They use limited production runs. They use collector special editions.
Huge.
And scarcity on the secondhand market. That is what has kept these prices up. It's simply supply and demand. And they are so good at creating the scarcity, the urgency. You'll never get this collector set again. Everything's a collector set now.
It's like,
And this is an important thing to note, is that this whole secondhand market of Lego, it was manufactured by the Lego Group. They didn't do this because they wanted a secondhand market. They do it because there's only so much space on retail shelves, and they want to be able to bring out new products to sell a second set or a third set or a fourth set to the same people. So I'm buying a set and then I'm buying another one. So they will always do this. They will always take away the old stuff, bring out the new stuff. As a result, the old stuff will grow in value. So it is important to note that the Lego Group are fully aware of what's going on here, and it intentionally aligns with their strategies, because that's what makes them so successful, being able to sell the same people on multiple products year after year after year.
blood Legos, right?
That's how it goes.
It's unbelievable.
So great lesson in marketing. Terrible investment. I'd rather you be investing in your retirement. And if you want to just enjoy Legos and it's a collector thing for you,
Get
that
a
you do on
billion
the
of 'em.
side
Get a
because
bunch of 'em.
you've already maxed out retirement, you don't have any debt, you're using your fund money, that's great. We are happy for you. We're not mad at those kidults out there. But please do not delay your retirement because you're like, oh, but honey, if I get this Lego set, it's going to be worth way more than my retirement account.
Or here's like here's me being like just honest.
Now, real quick, I do want to comment on this retirement point. I do agree with him here that it is important that we don't liquidate all our retirement, put our life savings into Lego when you first start out as a Lego investor, right? We need to make sure that we're being diverse, right? Diversifying our investments. I believe that Lego is a better investment than stocks, real estate, gold, all of these other things. However, I still invest in stocks and real estate. I love stocks and real estate, but because I want to be diverse, I want diversification in my investments. And so if something went wrong with one of them, the others would still do great. So it is important to make sure that you are being, you're diversifying your investments. You're not going too heavy, not getting rid of your retirement. I agree with the points that he's making here, and we should definitely pay attention to that.
Man, if you buy Legos and collect Legos and they go up in value and you're buying, great. And I can't argue with the data. The last decade, man, these things have done great. Awesome. They're going up in value. So you're an adult, you're a collector, you're going to buy some expensive Lego sets that are rare. Awesome. What I don't like about these kind of studies that get dropped out with headlines like this is that people who watch too much YouTube then go, I'm missing the boat here. And they
FOMO.
start buying Lego sets with credit cards. They start buying quote unquote great deals with fill in the blank ways of borrowing money with the idea that this is going to return me 11%. I can sell this for $400. I only bought it for $50 and I bought it on a credit card. And that's the folks who get in trouble. If you
Okay, so yeah, this is another good point. I do want to give him props for calling this out, and this is something that's on my mind because I make content about Lego investing, and I don't really want people to watch my videos on YouTube and not know what they're doing and go out and start investing in Lego right away, right? I talk in my videos about how we need to do our research, we need to do due diligence. I try to help with that in my videos, but we do need to make sure we know what we're buying. Anyone who's investing in anything in this world needs to know what they're investing in. If you're investing in real estate, stocks, anything at all, you need to know what you're investing in. Same with Lego, especially if you are taking on debt. He mentions credit card debt and different things. It is easy to rack up credit card debt with Lego, right? So we need to know what we're doing here. I don't recommend anybody who's brand new to Lego investing to use debt, okay? There is a place for debt in your business a couple of years in when you know what you're doing, you've mastered it, then you could decide to start using debt or what we call leverage to grow your business and, to multiply and different things like that. But in the beginning, I would avoid all of that. So we need to know what we're buying and avoid using debt in the very beginning when you're first starting with your Lego investing journey.
buy these things with cash and you end up with a huge pile of Legos and the apocalypse hits, no harm, no foul. It's fine, right? But, dude, if you have a pile of debt buying these things with the hope they're going to pay off, you're just going to get in the long line of crypto folks and a long line of Beanie Baby folks and a long line of Tulip folks and on and on and on, right?
Yeah, we don't know the future of Lego. I mean, one thing they could have a tweet that takes them down and the stock
No, I'll
tanks.
keep rocking with Legos, dude.
know?
I'm all about it. But
So that point there, they could have a tweet that would take Lego down, and then it could kill the market or something like that. I don't agree with that at all. Once again, because Lego sets are tangible things that people want, and so even if the Lego group got into trouble and people were mad at them and stuff like that, it might reduce sales. Like last year, they raised their prices and people were mad at them. But it doesn't mean that someone's not going to want the Lego set that they missed out on in their collection, right? It doesn't mean that the demand for Lego is going to fall off a cliff. That's not the kind of thing that can be massively destroyed by a couple of tweets. Unlike a stock, right? I would argue that a stock market investing is more prone to that kind of thing happening. Cryptocurrency is very prone to that kind of thing happening, right? Something can, some bit of news can destroy your investments. Stocks, the same thing. With Lego, I think we have more insulation around us from sudden things like that, suddenly impacting the market. So I kind of think his point there is a little bit weak, on sudden news events or something like that impacting the market. I actually think Lego does better than a lot of other investments in that regard.
But it's very, very risky, and we see this across all other industries, John. There's a lot of sneakerheads out there, and they're buying the collector shoe, and there's a lot of urgency and scarcity. And so whenever there's a lot of urgency and scarcity, I like to just pause and go, why do I have this FOMO?
Yeah.
And I go, oh, it's marketing. Got it. Okay.
Ta-da.
I don't actually need it. It's not actually a great investment. I actually don't know anything about it. And so unless you're a super Lego fan who just knows the ins and outs and knows exactly what set is what value on eBay, don't get involved in this stuff for the investment. Do it for the love of Lego.
Yeah, because you want it. For the love of Lego.
For the love of Lego.
You have a T-shirt that says that, man. That's
100%.
actually pretty
I want a T-shirt that says that. That's great. I also disagree with this last point. I don't think you need to be an absolute Lego master to get involved in Lego investing. We need to think about this like a business, right? It's got to be thought about like an e-commerce business. You don't need to know everything about every set and every minifigure. You can learn the stuff that is going to do well. With a bit of due diligence and research and different things, you can get involved. Once again, I can see that it's a little bit of lack of education from the guys here on what we're really talking about here. Again, this is a systematic approach to running an e-commerce business. Comparing it to sneakers also shows me a little bit of a lack of knowledge of the sneaker game, because they kind of mentioned the sneaker game there like it's a bad thing, right? This is kind of like sneakers where people think they're going to get rich. I know people getting rich with sneakers, right? People are getting rich with sneakers. The sneaker game, selling shoes like the limited edition Air Jordans and everything like that can be very, very lucrative if you know what you're doing. But you need to learn the language, you need to learn what's doing well, and really double down on improving your knowledge. For the regular person, you probably shouldn't be trying to, invest in sneakers, right? Or in Lego sets until you learn about it. Really what the key is here is just making sure that you know what you're doing. Make sure you know what you're buying. Make sure you're buying at great prices. Reducing down all of that risk. Just, the guys are being caught. They're trying to make sure that the mass America, all the people who are watching their show, their general audience, are cautious, and they don't just jump in, start putting loads of credit card debt down on sets that they don't understand, on Lego sets. And I agree with them on that, right? We need to know what we're doing. We need to take calculated decisions and build our knowledge and treat this like a business. But if you do it the right way, then those 11% returns, you're going to do a lot better than that. And I genuinely believe that some of their perspectives on this, it just shows a little bit of a lack of understanding of what the Lego investing world is really like. So overall, this is kind of what I expected from this video. I did expect to have some negativity, some misunderstandings about Lego investing from the Ramsey show. In general, I definitely think that a lot of it is just a lack of understanding. And as long as we are doing our due diligence, we're not liquidating all our retirement in our first year as a Lego investor, we're not taking on too much debt, making sure we're researching, buying at good prices, we can do extremely, extremely well. So I hope you enjoyed this reaction video, and if you did, please make sure you hit that subscribe button down below, because I've got tons of awesome content showing you more about Lego investing this year. And with that, thank you so much for watching. I'm Shane from breakbucks.net, and I will see you in the next one.